We have all the details on the fall run that is still going strong. We have more on the December glossy edition, and we have the details on the upcoming public meetings on striped bass and our correspondence check-in from around the island.
The Fishing News is sponsored by these fine partners.
We hope you all had a chance to take advantage of the incredible fishing conditions on Thanksgiving Day. We know that Chris Landry was out on Thanksgiving and had non-stop action to the west. More from him later. The holiday season is also right around the corner, and the December issue of the Fisherman magazine has a holiday buyer's guide with pages and pages of gift ideas for the angler in your life. Mark Sadati has an informative read on targeting sweetwater bass during the winter. New Jersey, Delaware Managing Editor Jim Hutchison has a great read on snag and drop, and Bill Mueller has a cool read on how the techniques of targeting tog over the years has changed. And if you need a stocking stuffer, why not a subscription to the Fisherman magazine? $29.95 gets you 12 glossy print issues and all the weekly digital content, plus full access to the website too. And plus, you can compete in our Dreamboat and Coastal Kayak Clash.
You may think you protected your outboard or personal watercraft for the winter, but you're not done yet. Fully protect your investment, you need to fight corrosion and remove all the water in the power head and cooling system. Winterize It Pro does just that. The innovative foaming action penetrates and expands in the cooling system, giving you the ultimate protection and peace of mind that your engine is safe over the freezing winter months. Get your Winterize It Pro now from MarineMate.com.
On December 7th, an in-person meeting will take place in Kings Park for the public to give their comment on the Atlantic Striped Bass Draft Addendum 1 to the Amendment 7 from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. A live stream broadcast will also be available for those who cannot attend. Comments are also encouraged to be written in by the end of the day on January 13th. Click on the card in the top right for more information. Don't forget, this video is available as a podcast on iTunes and Google Podcasts. Search for the Fisherman Magazine podcast and subscribe to listen to this broadcast. Hey, just in time for the holiday season, we want to announce that the Fisherman Magazine has launched their apparel store. Hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts are all online now and free shipping with orders over $100. Perfect gift for the fisherman in your life. Visit thefisherman.com/shop. Click on the card in the upper right. Be sure to order before December 12th to have it in time for Christmas. Let's take a look around the map, and I'll give you a rundown of what is going on. To the west, I spoke with some of the shops, and they let me know a few tog are inside the bays around the bridges still, but the fish are starting to gather on the reefs such as Atlantic and Rockaway. I also got word of a decent jig bite off of Jones and Tobay Beach with stripers from Schooley to Overslot being caught. Raritan Bay and in the East River are still producing stripers of all sizes as well. Along the south shore, the deeper wrecks from 120 to 150 feet are producing larger sea bass, porgies, and slot cod. Since most boats are out of the water, now might be a good time to hop on a party boat out of Capt or Mauritius to get on these fish while they're still within striking range. Further to the east, I did speak with Kenny from Tightlines Tackle in Sag Harbor, and he did let me know the Southampton stretch just east of Shinnecock Inland had a good run of striped bass on the beach right after Thanksgiving. Ken also said just about anything was working, but mentioned shads and bucktails to name a few lures. The stripers were from schoolies to slots. Further east, Montauk was still producing sea bass and tog with a few cod mixed in for the boats making the run. The fish are to the south and east right now, but they're heading a little deeper with the cooling temperatures. Try ranges from 70 to 100 feet for them. The Viking and Ebb Tide are still making the trip along with various other charter boats. Along the North Shore, the overall action slowed down a bit with the squid moving out and no word on the herring yet. I still did get some bass reports that were being caught up in the Sound, wherever the bait could be found. On the North Fork, a couple of boats are making the run to Rhode Island for some good tog fishing. Our content creator, Tim C. Smith, has a couple of holiday gift ideas for the special angler that you know.
Here are a couple of holiday gift ideas for the fisherman in your life. First is the Turtle Box Bluetooth speaker. I bought the speaker back in the spring and I use it all the time on my boat. It's fantastic. It's very rugged, very loud, very well constructed, waterproof. Everything on it stainless steel. You could actually charge your phone from this, and if you have two of them, it will give you stereo sound. Nice thing about this is its ruggedness. Because if you've ever had a stereo in a small boat, you usually get a year or two out of them and they stop working. This is great. You bring it with you. You can tie it down on your boat or just leave it around. It is really rugged, really strong, and waterproof. Not that cheap, however. It's about $400. Next, we have the Garmin InReach. This little guy here, another item around $400, but it would be a great holiday gift idea. Now, what this allows you to do, for the guys that go offshore or fish in places where you have no communication with cell phone, you can use this in conjunction with your cell phone to send text messages through the satellite to whoever you want. It gives you great peace of mind if you need to communicate with people when you are out of cell phone range. Plus, on top of that, it's got an SOS button on it, so if you're in big trouble, you can hit that button and the search team will come and get you. Of course, all of these things require a subscription on this item. Another great feature on the Garmin InReach Mini is its battery life. As long as this antenna has a clear view of the sky, this thing will be broadcasting your position for weeks. Now, it's not cheap. Again, this is $400, but you got to figure what your safety is worth and the ability to communicate when you're out of cell phone range. And here they are, two great holiday gift ideas that any fisherman in your life would be happy to receive.
Let's take a look at this weekend's weather with News 12 meteorologist Rich von Ohlen. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Let's check that weekend forecast and see what we got going on. You can always check your favorite apps, weather tools, weather sites, whatever you got as we get closer. This is a general heads up, general overview on the upcoming weekend. First weekend of December, let's check things out. Water temps, holding 40s and 50s for the most part. Big wave heights going into Saturday. It's going to be a very windy day, very much like we had on Wednesday. Wave heights way up there, gusty winds, and maybe a gale warning up, likely a gale warning. Good news, though, I think we'll save the weekend. Maybe 50-50. Saturday night, things start to really settle down. The 8 to 12s become 4 to 8s and 2 to 4s pretty quickly as a northwest breeze begins to flatten things out throughout Sunday. So if this all happens as is shown here and fast enough, could get that window to fish in the ocean on Sunday. Keep our fingers crossed. Saturday, though, forget about it. We got southwest 20 to 30 up to 40. Really not a nice day. We got some rain coming through, too. The winds go west-northwest quickly Saturday night, and there you go Sunday. A little gust in the morning, maybe before 9, 10 a.m., but then not too bad midday afternoon. I think we get a window there where it's really not too bad, and that could hold into part of Monday as well. High tide Saturday, North Shore, figure about 7, 8 a.m., South Shore for the afternoon. Temps on Saturday, very mild, 50s to near 60, and then we chill down to the more typical colder stuff going into the day on Sunday. Check that Guru. Again, a little different look here. There's Saturday. A lot of wind all over the place. Gale warnings up, maybe 4 to 8 feet plus, so forget about that. And then Sunday, look how quickly, right there, 7, 8, 9, 10 a.m., we get that little window where things would be manageable, much more fishable, and much nicer and safer. So if that's the case, we'll keep our fingers crossed and root for Sunday as the better half of the weekend day. As always, catch 'em up, be safe. Matt, back to you.
Now let's check in with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Thanks, Matt. Well, greetings, everybody from Montauk. Keep it kind of short and sweet this week. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, and everybody's looking forward to Christmas and all the other holidays coming up. Fishing still remains very good. The wind died down, everything got better, and it's definitely picked up, and it's been pretty consistent. So I've got pictures from Kenny Hadachek on the My Joyce with some blackfish and some sea bass, and they're even catching an occasional codfish, which is making it even better. Talked to Tommy Cusimano on the Sea Wife. He said the same thing. Fishing's actually spectacular. So it looks like we're going to get some weather for the weekend so people can get out again on Saturday and Sunday. I know a couple of these charter boat guys are heading out again. Some of these guys with the multi-passenger boats are doing open boats, so check that out. Viking's still going, ebb tide's still going, so get in here and get some fish before the season ends. But it does look good for even a possible cod bite over the winter. So that's that. Giant tuna fishing opens up on today, Thursday, on the 1st. So we should see some guys chasing giants over the weekend and in some nice weather. I'm leaving on Friday for Ishkalak, which is tomorrow. So I'll have a report from Mexico next week. All right, Matt, I'll get it back to you. Everybody enjoy the weekend, and we will talk to you soon.
From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Well, as it seems to happen quite a bit, after my dismal report last week, there was some good fishing the next day. Thanksgiving Eve going into sunset in Southampton, off the beach just a little bit east of Shinnecock East County Park. It was just absolutely amazing. My son and I just got into maybe about 15 or 20 fish. Nothing really too big. I do think like 2 of probably about the 15 or so fish we got were slots. Did see another guy pull in a 35-inch fish, so another nice fish being brought up, and it was just great with birds and the peanut bunker just blitzing, the bass blitzing on it. It was really nice way to kind of like end the season. I kind of feel like I'm playing with house money at this point. I did go back the next day at sunrise. Didn't have any luck. I've gotten into a couple of small fish off the beach. I've been mostly going down to Capt and closer to Moriches. Did get back over yesterday to Southampton. Didn't have much luck, but really nice with no wind, flat water, and once I saw the seals pop up, I figured if there was anything there, they were gone. But, it's kind of that time that there'll be some resident fish around. Definitely worth, if you're driving the beach, just looking for a little bit of structure, throw a small bucktail, definitely worth to have a teaser on. Probably you'll have a chance at bending a rod, but for the most part, it does seem like most of the slot fish and bigger fish have kind of moved west, and we'll look for them in the spring. Tog bite still going really well, along with black sea bass and cod. The typical head boats from Montauk all the way to the west to Sheepshead Bay are having some really nice trips. So you have that going on. Some white perch. I've never caught one, so kind of to kind of quell my fears of the off season, I'm gonna try for that the next few weeks. So it's been a blast running into a lot of people on the beach and in the typical fishing spots that I only know from Instagram, Facebook, that have seen the videos, and it's really cool to get to share kind of my adventures, my son's adventures with all you guys. So really appreciate that. Still gonna go after him, so maybe I'll have some kind of fish story for you next week. Until then, back to you, Matt. Thanks.
The Dreamboat and Costa Kayak Clash are getting very close to the end. Let's get the latest standings.
The Dreamboat Challenge has almost come to an end. The last week of the competition pushes Rob Carazano down to third place, with Garrett Weir weighing in this monster 17.85-pound hog, putting him into second place. Ironically, Rob Carazano, who's in third place, would win the Steigercraft 23 Miami if no more qualifying entries arrive by December 10th, because Sam and Garrett are past Dreamboat Grand Prize winners and are not eligible for the first place prize again. Sam would win the second place prize and Garrett would win the third place prize. To help solidify his place in the standings, Bill de Costa replaced his second place tog with this 16.18-pound tog. This week's notable catch comes from Ahmad Solomon from Brooklyn, New York, with a 10.44-pound tog. Stay tuned for the certified results in the upcoming weeks. Now let's check in on the Coastal Kayak Clash contest with New England editor Dave Anderson.
The 2022 Coastal Kayak Clash is a wrap. The unofficial results tell us that Tom Hogue remains in third place with 6 points, Bob Wagner holds second place with 7 points, and for the second year in a row, Justin Oser leads the tournament with 11 points. We will make these results official in a few weeks. November was a pretty uneventful month in the tournament. The only entry that carried any weight was Justin Oser's 4th Fish of the Month winner. We'd like to thank all who participated this year and our sponsors, Hobie, Humminbird, Yak Lights, Penn, Fenwick, and YakAttack.com.
With more from the East End, let's check in with Captain John Lee.
We got out a couple of times this week and had a decent mixed bag of codfish, blackfish, and sea bass. We went out, we anchored up, we used crabs, some guys used jigs and clams. It was pretty good fishing. Once again, we got a lot of weather. I probably won't get out till Monday. It's definitely starting to feel like kind of more of a cod thing for us. And we're just gonna keep going. All right, take care, bye-bye.
1. With our fly and freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. Well, it's getting toward the end, but I just can't give it up. I've been going out, checking out different spots. There's plenty of places here on Long Island that we could fish. I'm hearing now white perch is starting to show up into the creek mouths, so that's an option to get out there. As far as the saltwater, the effort is down, but there are still fish. Stripers are still being caught in the inlet and in the surf. The back bays I haven't heard too much about. It is getting cold. We're predicting a lot of rain in the next couple days, so that's going to kind of put off the fishing. It's going to blow out some of the rivers upstate for sure. Right now, the Salmon River, they bumped it up. It is now over 3,000, which is totally unfishable right now. Totally. Hopefully they'll shut the dam down because I plan on going up there. I'm going to be up there with a group of friends next week. We're going to hopefully to be able to do a little video and send it out, let you know, let you know what's going on with the steelhead fishing. Man, I just love that type of fishing. As far as the ponds out here, people are still catching fish, but you really have to get out there and fish you got to really fish the deeper parts of the pond. The panfish and the bass, they're starting to hunker down a little bit. The water's chilling down. Good thing is all the weeds are dying down. Now, as far as the Shinnecock, banner days, very well. I'm also hearing Carl's River has some fish in it. I also hear that the tidal sections of the Shinnecock, Rattlesnake Creek, there are fish in there. So you don't have to just go to the park. Go up to Westchester. Those rivers are still fishing well. Well, it is the start. I'm getting ready to do some fly tying. If you're interested in my fly tying classes, check out my website. All right, we're going to be starting them in January. That'll get us through the winter. And then, of course, it's show season. And we got our show coming up on March. So check us out. Tie lines, everybody. I hope I have good news about the steelheading next week. Tie lines.
From the Rockaways, we have Chris Landry. Chris.
Thanks, Matt. The fall run is still on fire. November has been like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Birds everywhere. Find the birds, you'll find the bass. I went out Thanksgiving Day with my son Aslan. We found tons of birds and blitzes by the Verrazano Bridge between Brooklyn and Staten Island, along with a bunch of other boats, and we got on them heavy. Phil Salvo was on the Gypsy this weekend and reported that they were still in that area over the weekend. They lost count. I went out today, Tuesday. We didn't have to go that far because right around Coney Island, from the Roundhouse to Breezy Point, everywhere you looked were birds and bass busting. 90% of the bass are schoolies. Last week it was 80%. Every week they're getting smaller, but they are still in abundance. So you got to get out there while we can because the season ends December 15th. And then Tog season ends December 22nd, so get out there for that. Black sea bass ends December 31st. I also might go out and start chasing ghosts. So stay tuned for that. Get out there while you can. They're still in abundance. They might be schoolies, but they're a lot of fun, and who knows, you could still hook up with some big fish. So tight lines, and back to you, Matt.
Let's check in with Max Finch from the Connecticut side of the Western Sound.
There's still striped bass running our beaches and in our deeper water reefs. The diamond jig bite has been hit or miss, but when you get into it, it's hot and heavy. We've seen a lot of slot-sized fish, but for the most part, there are a lot of schoolies running our beaches and still in our estuaries. The mouth of the Housatonic is holding a lot of fish, and the lower part of the river, and now there's fish starting to move upriver too. Guys are fishing soft plastics on lead heads. They're fishing SPs. Top water still in the morning. As we progress more into December, it's going to be more of a jig bite. Fishing a lead head with your favorite soft plastic on the bottom. The black sea bass bite is still pretty good. The guys that are still getting out on our 50-foot wrecks and shallow wrecks, they're reporting a good bite. And I know Middle Ground holds a lot of big sea bass this time of year. So you can use clams, squid, high-low rigs, butterfly jigs, diamond jigs, and your favorite type of jig. And there's been a pretty good striped bass bite too at 11B and Middle Ground. All right, everybody, thanks and good luck.
Captain Mike Centry has the latest from Staten Island.
Thanks, Tim and Matt. Hope all is well, guys. Well, guys, Mike Centry here from Anglers of Legend Sport Fishing Boat Works. Well, the bass are definitely still in town. Raritan Bay on the shallow flats, especially on incoming tides, producing smaller bass. The season's winding down. You're looking at bass around 26 to 27 inches, which signifies a slowdown of the season. Now, check out this photo. My friend Rob went out Tog and got a nice 12-pounder. Picture's actually pretty good. So Tog has been phenomenal for most of the anglers on the weather days that they could get out there. And that's pretty much it. So striped bass actually was pretty hot for a full week off Gateway National Park, which is called Sandy Hook in New Jersey. on the Great Kill side of Staten Island, right by the sailboats in the back. They've been catching some really nice bass over there. For some reason, there's still bunker back there. So nighttime they've been producing back there. So with that said, let me get out of here. Lots to do and tight lines. Back to you, Matt.
Lastly, we check in with Captain Ben Gilmour from Marina Pez Vela down in Costa Rica.
The fishing is absolutely on fire here, guys. You should get yourself down here right now for some Thanksgiving fishing. The offshore fishing is just insane. We got marlin, both blue and striped marlin. We got a few sailfish out there, but the big story is the mahi-mahi, or dorado as we call them down here. Absolutely crazy for them right now. Lots of fish in the 18 to 25 pound range. We're catching a few fish up to 40 to 50 pound, and the yellowfin tuna bite has been on fire also. We'd love to see you guys down here in Costa Rica soon. Give us a call. This is Ben Gilmour at Jackpot Sport Fishing.
Please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and their social media pages. Remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit on the bell to be notified when we post new content on YouTube. So far, the weather is looking a little poor for Saturday, but maybe Sunday will be salvageable. If you're still out fishing, we'd like you to send us our fishing photos so we can make them part of the weekly video fishing forecast or feature them in the magazine. We'll see you right here next week at thefisherman.com.